it's got to be big, it's got to be green, but most importantly, it's got to be flashy. Today we're playing a deck that I've dubbed the Big Green Flash, because with Vivien, Champion of the Wilds, a new Planeswalker here, we may cast creature spells as though they had Flash. So we're going to take advantage of that by casting creatures with Flash, because normally that's you can't really do that. You can't really play creatures on your opponent's turn unless those creatures have Flash, and there's only a few of those. Now, there are a couple of ways we're going to do this. First of all, we have Wilderness Reclamation, which untaps all our lands at the beginning of our end step. We untap all our lands, so that allows us to not only cast a creature in our turn, then we can untap our lands and cast a creature in our opponent's turn, assuming we have all our pieces in place. Which, to be fair, before I continue with this deck tech, it's pretty hard to pull off. This is pretty hard to pull off. This deck has not been amazing. It's actually not bad just because of the Explore package that we have in it. Not only are we going to be getting lands, we're ramping into more lands, we're picking up lands that we can play so we can cast our bigger creatures, but we gain life and have more powerful creatures in the mid-game with our Explore package, like Wildgrowth Walker, Merfolk Branchwalker, and Jadelight Ranger is all a really good synergy there with the exploring. Now, on top of that, we are playing Vivien and trying to cast creatures in our opponent's turn, and of course, we have some big creatures. We've got one Carnage Tyrant, one Aggressive Mammoth, one End-Raze Forerunners, two Biogenic Oozes, and two God-Eternal Rhonases. I'll explain a little bit more about each of these as we go. We also have two Beast Whisperers because we can run out of cards in this deck, and since we're casting mostly creature spells, not entirely, but mostly creature spells, we do get a little bit of card draw out of this, so that's actually pretty nice. So, Biogenic Ooze is just a good creature. It's a 2/2 for 5, so it's very easy to remove, but at the beginning of your end step, you do put a +1/+1 counter on it and the other ooze that it creates. Now, the good thing about this deck is that we're running Wilderness Reclamation, so we can untap our lands and use this creature's ability to create another ooze, and so we can just make an army of oozes if we really want to. God-Eternal Rhonas. So when God-Eternal Rhonas enters the battlefield, double the power of each other creature we control until end of turn. Those creatures gain vigilance until end of turn. And not only is he a god, so whenever he dies or is put into exile from the battlefield, we may put it into our library third from the top. So it's hard to remove, but he also has a great enter the battlefield effect. And that's part of the reason we want to be flashing this guy in. So say it's late game and we're attacking with a couple creatures, and our opponent thinks to themselves, I know that they don't have enough power to kill me right now, so I'm not going to block. And then I'm like, well, you dummy. I flash in my God-Eternal Rhonas, I double their power, and then you die. This has happened in practice games. It's not that likely, but this is just a good creature to have. It's a good thing to be able to do with Flash when we have Vivien on the field. Other creatures that are very important. End-Raze Forerunners is super important in this deck. Because it has Vigilance, Trample, and Haste, but also when it enters the battlefield, other creatures we control get +2/+2 and gain Vigilance and Trample until end of turn. The Trample is very important because we're going to be having some big creatures here, especially if we have our oozes on the field for a while. Even our God-Eternal Rhonas does not have Trample, which is a big bummer, but it does have Death Touch, so that's nice. But we need to be able to actually hit our opponent with damage, so that's why this Trample really helps us out. In addition to End-Raze Forerunners, we also are playing an Aggressive Mammoth, and you might be thinking, well, this is dumb. Why would we play both of these? Because they both give our creatures Trample, but this one is only for one turn, and this one is just other creatures you control have Trample. So both of them are important in different circumstances. Like, if we think we're not going to win all of a sudden on one turn, we might want to play Aggressive Mammoth just to get that value over and over of having our creatures with Trample, because we're going to have medium-sized creatures, not always huge creatures, but sometimes just like moderately big creatures when we're playing big Wildgrowth Walkers or like Biogenic Ooze. We want our oozes to have Trample, and sometimes the End-Raze Forerunners does not get us there in that turn that we play it. Usually it will. Usually this is a win, but I should also add that this is 2 mana cheaper, so that makes it a lot easier to play. Carnage Tyrant. Of course, we play one Carnage Tyrant just because it's really good. It's such a good card. And since we're playing this in best of one mostly, we want to have some versatility here, and that's why I'm playing some of these like one-offs. If we were really fine-tuning this, we'd probably play it just a little bit differently. But we do have these as one-offs just because we're playing it in best of one, and we don't really know what we're going to run up against. We don't know what we're going to need. And since we don't know what we're going to need, sometimes we want to be able to go into our deck and get what we need. That's why we play one Vivien's Arkbow. Vivien's Arkbow is wonderful. At first, when I saw this card, I was like, that's kind of not very good. But when I started thinking about it and actually playing with it a little bit, it's really, really strong. Not only does this allow us to basically flash in creatures just like Vivien Champion of the Wilds, if we don't have Vivien Champion of the Wilds, or we don't have big creatures in our hand, we can discard a card, pay a bunch of mana, and tap this bad boy to go to our library, or look at this top X number of cards in our library. If we're casting this for 6 or 8, that's a huge search. We get to pick out a card and play it. Even if we're not finding our big creatures like Carnage Tyrant or End-Raze Forerunners or something, even getting a Jadelight Ranger out of our deck is really good. That's really, really good. So all of these cards are very powerful. A couple of other things we're doing here. We do run one Nissa who shakes the world because she's really strong. She allows us to tap our force for a lot more mana, which is going to make our Vivien's Arkbow way stronger. And we can cast our big creatures more easily, of course, after that. But of course, we are running other ramp. We are running Incubation Druid and Llanowar Elves to help us get to the late game more quickly. So we are doing that, and she allows us to turn our lands into creatures, which is sometimes helpful in a pinch. We do run two Vivien Reid, so we have both of these Vivien Planeswalkers in our deck. Vivien Reid is great because we can, again, search our library for creatures, get them into our hand, and then flash them in with our other Vivien if we have both of them on the field. We also have this for removal because this is the only interaction we have with our opponent, which is really crappy. That's my biggest complaint probably about playing mono-green is that you have a hard time interacting with your opponent. And that's why I'm going to talk about the sideboard in just a little bit. I did say we are playing this in best of one, but I have a sideboard options. I have some sideboard options if you are playing this in best of 3. If you want to give that a shot, be my guest. Let me know how it goes for you, and I'll give you a few options that I've cooked up, but I haven't actually tested them out. But Vivien Reid is wonderful. Just a really, really powerful planeswalker. That destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying is very important. Super important. Because if we're playing mid-range or control decks that are going to be playing like enchantments and things that are going to be really hampering us, like Ixalan's Binding on some of our creatures or our other Vivien or something, we can bring this Vivien in and destroy them and then get our stuff back. We want that. We want to return to nature. That's what this is all about. We're going to reclaim the wilderness. Am I right, guys? Okay, you don't have to laugh. I'll laugh awkwardly at my own jokes. Okay, sideboard things. If you're playing this in best of 3, these are a couple options you might want to try out. So Prey Upon is great because it's his removal in green, and that's hard to come by. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. This is really good. You could also do Rabid Bite instead if you're worried about your creatures dying with this. Prey Upon is just nice, and again, another option for this is Kraul Harpooner. This is a 2-mana 3/2 with Reach, which is already good. 2-mana 3/2 with Reach is very good, especially against decks that are going to be playing flyers like Mono White. This is a really nice card to have. But when Kraul Harpooner enters the battlefield, choose up to one target creature with flying you don't control. Kraul Harpooner gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Then you may have Kraul Harpooner fight that creature. Whew, that's a lot of words. So basically, this can function as removal for flying creatures. So that's going to be important as well, because we don't have much in the way of removal, and sometimes if you're playing a deck with a lot of flyers, you're going to want to bring this in from the sideboard to use against that. Also, we have Pollenbright Druid here. This is an option. It's not a super powerful card, but especially in like a budget build of something, you might want to be playing Pollenbright Druid. When it enters the battlefield, you may either put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, or you can proliferate. Since we're doing our Explore package and we have quite a few Planeswalkers and the Biogenic Ooze, sometimes proliferate is very nice. Sometimes being able to just play a 2-mana creature and proliferate and make all your other creatures way stronger, that can be very good. Speaking of proliferate, we have a Planewide Celebration. Planewide Celebration. This is a good card. It costs 7 mana, which is a bit expensive for a sorcery in green because it's easy to counter if you're playing against control. So that's why it's on the sideboard. We choose 4. You may choose the same mode more than once. We either create a 2/2 citizen creature token that's all colors, return target permanent guard from our graveyard to our hand, proliferate, or regain 4 life. And we can do all of these one time, or we can mix and match and do a bunch of them a couple times. Yeah, just have your way. That's why this card is so good, is because it's really versatile. If we need to proliferate a bunch, we can proliferate a bunch. We can take our Planeswalkers from like 5 to the ultimate and then keep them on the board after we proliferate. That's really nice, especially with Vivien Reid because her ultimate is incredibly good. Her -8 is so good. It's basically a game winner, so Planewide Celebration can get us there. If we're in a pinch, we can gain 4 life. If like we're against mono red or something like that, we can gain some life. If we're playing against Demir or something with a lot of removal, we can return things from our graveyard to our hand, so we can restock our hand. We can create little creatures. We can do it all with this card. So that's nice. A good sideboard option, even potentially a main board option if you just like want to run a one of that. That's definitely probably doable. I say definitely probably. That doesn't make any sense. It's probably doable. I think I've talked about this enough. Let's get into some gameplay. Okay, folks, here's game 1, and I should say we're playing this in ranked, and I'm ranked gold right now, so if that gives you a frame of reference for the competition, that may be helpful to you. I actually like this hand. It's not amazing, but what we can do with this is play Incubation Druid on turn 2, and then turn 3 we can get down our Beast Whisperer, and hopefully we're drawing into some more creatures. Since we're on the draw, that's going to be helpful to maybe draw into some better mid-game plays, but this is actually a good start with Incubation Druid on turn 2. One thing I didn't really mention earlier is I meant to say, since we are playing Wilderness Reclamation, and so sometimes we're going to be untapping our lands on the opponent's turn, we do want cards that have mana sinks. So that's why Incubation Druid and Biogenic Ooze are so good in this deck. Because when occasionally we don't have our Vivien Reid, or our Vivien Champion of the Wilds, on the field, and we want to be using our mana on our opponent's turn, we can still be doing that if we have a Biogenic Ooze on the field. We can just create a bunch of oozes, or we can make sure we get to adapt our Incubation Druid. So, mono blue. Not ideal, but actually not terrible because they don't have a counterspell for Incubation Druid, so I can get that down. And usually, they don't really have counters for creatures, unless they're playing, Essence Capture. Essence Capture is a really good card for this. I think they are mostly running this now with mono blue. They're running Essence Capture, but I think we'll be okay because they're probably going to tap down to 1, if I had to guess. Curious Obsession. That's a bummer. Okay, yeah, I expected Curious Obsession here. Hopefully they don't keep these 2 lands up, because if they have 2 islands up, they can either have a Wizard's Retort or an Essence Capture, both of which really suck for us next turn if we're trying to play Beast Whisperer. Okay, so we could play Wilderness Reclamation. The problem with doing that is that they have many more counters for that, as they could definitely Spell Pierce this. So I think our best bet is to try to go for Beast Whisperer here and hope for the best. Wish me luck, guys. Yep, there's the Wizard's Retort. Okay, well, fair enough. Fair enough. I hate mono blue. I hate mono blue so much. They just have like, it's so like, the way mono blue curves out is so freaking annoyingly fine-tuned. So you get your 1 mana creature on turn 1. On turn 2, you get your Curious Obsession or whatever on there, and you still might have a Spell Pierce up. Oh, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. Yep. Yeah, I hate the look of this. I really do. Chart a Course. Okay, and they're still going to have 2 mana up after this unless they play something, which they don't. So, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. I am going to adapt my Incubation Druid. The only reason this goes poorly is if they have like a, whatchamacallit. You know what? They can't. They can't, though. So if I play anything right now, I feel like it gets countered because I don't have mana to pay for a Spell Pierce, and I don't. Yeah, I think I'm just going to adapt. Actually, I'm going to pass and see what they do first before I actually adapt, just to make sure there's not like a Merfolk Trickster, like a blink of an eye waiting. So no attacks. I'm going to say in turn, they may have a Merfolk Trickster. No Merfolk Trickster. I can still adapt on their turn. That's totally fine. I'm sorry, I'm yawning. Goodness gracious. It was a long day at work today. Tempest Gin, you say? I'll resolve the heck out of that. And hopefully we've got an answer for that soon. This is why we need Vivien Reid. We need Vivien Reid. Badly. Mono Blue, I hate you. You're the worst. Yep. One of the major problems with this deck is that we don't have enough interaction with the opponent to make them like expend their spells. So one of the things you can do against Mono Blue is to just cast a lot of spells to try to remove your opponent's stuff. And force them to play their counter spells. But since we're playing, like, we're curving out to where we're going to play, like, one big spell a turn, we sometimes run into some issues. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do Merfolk Branchwalker, see if they counter this. Which I'm thinking they do. Essence Capture. Okay. You Essence Capture me. Oh, boy. I'm going Aggressive Mammoth. I mean, I'm probably going to die. We're probably going to die pretty soon. But we're doing this. I mean, they've got 8 damage at the ready, and we will go to 6 this turn. And they probably have Merfolk Tricksters ready to just fend me off for a couple of turns so I can't murder them with my Aggressive Mammoth. This is not going very well. Little Mistcloaked Herald. Yeah, what else you got? So there, 9 damage. I go to 5 here. This is almost definitely my demise. You diggity dogs. I mean, I'm gonna go. Well, I mean, I'm dead. I'm dead. This is it. I'm just going to play this out. It probably gets countered, or they play Merfolk Trickster, and I die. Wizard's Retort. Good game, opponent. Good game. You old bully. You bullying me. Oh, we're attacking just for fun. Just play. Okay, why are you opting? Why are you doing this? You know that I am tapped out. I can't do anything. Just attack me. I don't want to concede. Okay, fine. You're forcing me to do this. I'm conceding now because you were being slow and a punk. Jin Shay. Wow, dude. You had to go and do it. You had to go and play the spells when you didn't need to. I'm just kidding. I do that too. Okay, well, hopefully game 2 is a little better. Hopefully game 2 is better. You might say we got blown out there. You could say that. Chuar. Okay. Game number 2. Oh my. So do we want to keep this? Actually, okay, here's the deal. I can keep this. Opponent goes first, which is not great, but we can't do anything about that. What we can do is play Llanowar Elves turn 1, Champion of the Wilds turn 2, and then, if we don't have another creature in hand at that point, we can dig through our library with Vivien. I hate mulliganing. It usually bites me in the bum, and they're playing Evolving Wilds, which is a bit scary. To find a mountain? What are you doing, opponent? I'm a little scared Llanowar Elves gets shocked here on their turn, but I mean, what can we do about it? What can we do about it? Nothing, actually nothing. So Rakdos. Nightmare's Thirst. Well, at least we got a Merfolk Branchwalker. That's something. So we can still play Vivien on turn 3, and let's keep you on top because we need to make sure we have creatures for when we so here's the deal. Next turn, are they playing 5 colors? Oh boy, I am intrigued by this. Here's what we do. We go Vivien, we play you, we plus you up, So we give you Vigilance just in case they have a hasty creature, which I doubt. And then next turn we play Wilderness Reclamation, untap, and then Bond of Flourishing. Okay, I see you. I see you. Also, why did you tap your... Tap that. Okay, Burning Prophet. Sovereign's Bite. Oh, we're moving and shaking, folks. We're doing it. We're doing it up. I know you've Burning Prophet in your hand. I'm a little scared that they're gonna have removal. But I think I plus up because if I minus, she dies to a lightning strike, and I don't want that. And now I can play my Jadelight Ranger this turn. So I resolve the Burning Prophet. Electrostatic Field. Okay, not the end of the world. Okay, they are... What is this deck? And we find a bunch of forests, which is not too bad because we go the other Vivien Reid. So we have both our Vivien Reids and Wilderness Reclamation. Let's look, see what we can pick up here. We'll go Wildgrowth Walker, actually. And then we'll actually minus you. Take a forest, I suppose. And then... we don't attack because it does us no good. Because they block with Electrostatic Field. Sovereign's Bite. We'll go Wildgrowth Walker. We'll go ahead and do this now so we gain some life back. And we're getting our Explore package going, and we're flooding out super hard, but luckily we have a Vivien Reid. Merfolk Branchwalker is good. Let's do this again, see what we get. Ah, yes. Oh, yes. Biogenic Ooze, baby. And... let's minus you again. Yeah, we kick Wildgrowth Walker out of here. Oh, this is wonderful. Okay, here we go. We'll go ahead and Biogenic Ooze now. So then we untap, and we can play the Branchwalker and Wildgrowth Walker combo next turn. And again, I don't attack yet because none of my creatures are strong enough, really. Yeah, we don't care about this order of triggers. Gift of Paradise. So they're gaining some more life. I'm so confused. I am beyond confused about this deck. I don't understand. So they don't have any cards to draw here. Let's resolve that. Resolve. I'm about to get my Vivien to her ultimate. If they don't do anything about it. Maybe they're just drawing poorly. I just don't really get it. I'm actually going to graveyard that. I don't really want another Vivien right now. I think I'm chill. Yeah, we don't care about that order. Okay. Let's give you Vigilance and Reach.
No one knows the wilds like I
do. Okay, hang on. What can I do here? Okay, God-Eternal Rhonas is gonna pretty much win us the game. But before we do that, I mean, that's next turn. We're gonna do this first and still not attack because again, there's no real point in attacking. Actually, there kind of is because we can actually get some damage in now and make sure that we win the game on our next turn. So they block that. She probably blocks this Wildgrowth Walker. Okay, no blocks. I guess they're scared of what I have in my hand. Oh, I'm dumb. I'm a dum-dum. Dang it. I shouldn't have passed to the end of my turn yet. Can I put on full control at this point? I don't think I can. I could have tapped these down and then let this trigger happen, and before this happened, I could have created another ooze, I think. No, I turned it off. Dang it. Oh well. We're fine. We're fine. We don't really need that. I'm just being a dum-dum. Why do they want to gain so much life? I don't really understand, to be honest. Resolve all. I guess what they're trying to do is just kill me, like, by playing Saheeli. Okay, they're doing Saheeli things. Okay, so they've gone for, like, the non-creature spell, tribal sort of deal. There's a lot of creatures, actually, in this set. So we got Burning Prophet, and then there's Spellgorger Weird that also trigger up with non-creature spells. I mean, we win the game hard this turn. Past the end of combat. Make another Ooze. Let's just do this.
You're not walking out of here.
This is so mean. Why am I doing this? What have I become? Die, you fool. All attack. Why are you not working? Click. Go. Yes. Yes. No, you conceded. No, why? I took too long clicking. I wanted to actually see the damage. I didn't calculate that in my head, but it was a lot. It was a lot of damage. Too much damage. Well, that was a thing. So, you see now how it works. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep on playing. This deck is so fun. It might not be that good. It's not super consistent, but it's pretty darn fun. Pretty darn fun. Anytime you get to flash in creatures and make your opponent sad, it's a good time. It's a good time. Hopefully we can actually see that in action where we're like flashing in creatures, and I'm going to keep this. I keep on getting 4 lands every time. I think I've had 4 lands in my hand. So I got Llanowar Elves, and I have Wildgrowth Walker as well, and we're kind of ramping to Vivien Reid, sort of. If we draw a creature with Explore here on our first turn, that's also really great. Because we want to play our... Oh yeah, baby. So we go Wildgrowth Walker next turn, followed by Jadelight Ranger. This is probably... A Boros start is probably like a Dreadhorde Arcanist. Yeah, okay, this is maybe a feather deck where they're going to be playing... Yeah, playing stuff to make their creatures super strong. Can we next... Oh, ho ho! Okay. You know what? We're going to attack. We attack. We're going to take a little damage here because they're about to buff up their 10th District Legionnaire big time, or they're going to play Feather. That's a possibility. Because if they want their combos to work, they got to get Feather on the field. Defiant Strike, that's fine. Yeah, so they scry 1 and then they draw a card. The Defiant Strike on 10th District Legionnaire is a stupid good combo. Because you get the scry first, and then you get to draw a card, so you know what you're drawing. And Boros, that's really freaking good. That's so good to have in Boros, because we rarely get that. You usually get that kind of stuff in blue, and in a deck that's not running blue at all. Please do not Lightning Strike. Oh, my poor Wildgrowth Walker. This makes me so sad. I also can't get my combo off. Exactly. Well, Wildgrowth Walker next turn is not the end of the world either. We're still fine. We take a bunch of damage. Oh. Okay, well, the good news is we're gonna take a bunch of damage, but they're running through their cards really fast. And without Feather on the field, well, I say that. They still have 4 cards in hand because Defiant Strike replaces itself. I mean, we go Wildgrowth Walker here because we have to gain life. They may have another Reckless... No. I'm actually going to keep you back as a blocker for 10th District Legionnaire just in case they do something here that would cause me to die. Aurelia. Like that. Like Aurelia. Oh, you have Trample. Oh my gosh, you have Trample. I mean, do we lose? I mean, do we lose next turn if we take this damage? Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, I think we lose either way, to be honest. Unless next turn we play Vivien Reid and kill Aurelia. In that case, we have to not block. We go no blocks. We take this damage. This sucks a lot. If they have... There are a lot of things they could have that would kill me this turn. If they have another Aurelia, they can just play it and then give this Vigilance and Trample, and then I die. I'm also going to have to block with my Wildgrowth Walker. Lyra, oh my goodness, this is terrible. Unless they kill my Vivien Reid. In that case, it's not... Yeah, okay, we have to block. Yeah, I'll block you. If we had a way to proliferate and then kill a Lyra, that would be good, but we don't. So we're going to look for something to do here, and we get forests. That's nice. So that's game. Good game, and I concede. And we lose here. This deck is a little bit too fast, and since if they hadn't killed my first Wildgrowth Walker, that would have been a much different story. But what can we do? Alright. Let's hopefully get one more good game in here. Hopefully I don't get crushed again. I feel like both of my losses have been really crushing losses. And our one win was a crushing win. So maybe it's just that kind of a deck. Maybe it's just one where... Okay, can I not start the game with 4 lands? I can't keep this hand, really. I've also started second. I've also gone second like every time against a much faster deck. So we're going to mulligan this. This is actually decent because we're on the draw and we get a scry, so maybe we can pick up an Explorer creature. Another Wildgrowth Walker is keepable on top. I might have wanted to bottom that just because we want to get our Explorer going to make sure we get lands. No Thought Eraser, no Thought Eraser. Oh, Thought Eraser. No. There goes probably my Ooze, if I had to guess. Wildgrowth Walker. They must have removal. They probably have a Tyrant Scorn for this Wildgrowth Walker once I play it. So that's sad. They're playing Grixis. Okay. They probably kill this Walker, but the good news is, if they don't, we have a Jadelight Ranger. The bad news is, they may have another Thought Erasure that stops me from getting my Explorer off. Shock that in to do what? To murder me. End-Raze Rampage. I sacrifice that. End-Raze Rampage is good. It's so good. Yeah, we'll go Jadelight Ranger here to get some power on the board. Whew. Okay. Do we library this? I think we library that, because next turn we still have Beast Whisperer, even if we don't, like, we can't play God-Eternal Rhonas, but we still have Beast Whisperer to help us draw some cards. And they may do something to kill this. Okay, so Tamiyo's Epiphany. Tamiyo's Epiphany is a good card. A good card at common, especially in limited. If you pick this up in like a draft or a sealed event, it's a pretty good card. The Scry 4 for like 1 extra mana over a Divination, and then you draw 2 cards is really good. Let's go for the attack here, and then we can play the Beast Whisperer. And hopefully I don't get wiped really hard here. If they play another End-Raze Rampage, I just sack the Jadelight Ranger because I need to keep Beast Whisperer up. Moment of Craving. And then not a Lightning Strike or Lava Coil. Don't do it. Don't do it, I beg you. Augur of Bolas. Okay. Augur of Bolas is not awesome. It's actually a good card. It's not awesome for me. It's not terrible, though. They could go pick up like a Wizard's Lightning or something here, but surely this deck doesn't run Wizard's Lightning. Into the God-Eternals is the most boo-boo card ever. It's so good. Why is this so good? Hey, there's a forest. We don't attack, but, I mean, they kill our Beast Whisperer this turn. But then we can play our God-Eternal Rhonas, actually, so we're going to be okay. We're going to be just fine. And I'm sorry if you can hear loud noises. That's rain on my window, and I don't love it. I don't love it. We're going to go ahead and play Biogenic Ooze here. They may just have a counterspell straight up, which would make sense why they didn't cast Enter the God-Eternals last turn. Carnage Tyrant is actually a really good pickup against this deck. The only problem is that End-Raze Rampage can hit it if I don't have any other creatures on the field, but Carnage Tyrant is pretty dang good. I can't really attack because Augur of Bolas is blocking me. I'm confused why they didn't play this last turn. I'm very confused. Did you play it now on my Biogenic Ooze? I mean, okay. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm surprised they didn't play that on Beast Whisperer. Dun, 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 dun. I think we go ahead and get Carnage Tyrant out, because once we have Carnage Tyrant on the field, our God-Eternal Rhonas play becomes much stronger, a lot stronger, and then we still don't attack. Oh, the God-Eternal Kefnet. Oh, but just you wait. Just you wait, Mr. Higgins. I've got a Vivien Reid ready and waiting for you. Ready to poop on ya. Oh, hey. Now. We can go Vivien Champion of the Wilds. Go Vivien Champion of the Wilds into Wilderness Reclamation. I can't really attack with Carnage Tyrant here. Because it can die so easily. If they just double block with Kefnet in their zombie army, Carnage Tyrant will die, and I really need that to be alive. So I'm just gonna do that and submit 0. It doesn't really make much. Oh wait, no. Ah, Z, I need you to get reach. Darn it, I suck. Why am I this bad? No, why couldn't I undo that? Dang it. That was really dumb. I forget that it gets reach. And I needed that to block this god right here. I was thinking, oh, I don't need the vigilance. I don't care who I give it to. But I do need the reach. I really did. Angrath's Rampage, Resolve. Oh, I sack a Planeswalker. No, I shouldn't have resolved that. Oh, why am I this bad? I'm making misplays at every turn. Okay, well, I have another Vivien Champion of the Wilds. I could just play that. Or, whoa, not what I meant to do. I'm sorry if that screwed up this video a little bit. Yeet. Okay, that should be back in order. Dang, what do I do here? Okay, let's go Vivien. And then I'm actually gonna play the Jadelight Ranger. Now, because I get to draw with it. Pick up a Branchwalker. Okay. Hopefully I pick up some land. Vivien's Arkbow. I'm going to keep that on top just so this gets plussed up. And then I'm going to give you reach, like I should have done last time. They may just have another Angrath's Rampage. And again, we don't attack. So, assuming our Vivien stays alive, we're going to be fine. Assuming our Vivien stays alive. They've only got one card. And they haven't activated God-Eternal Kefnet yet. I want to make sure this is correct. Okay, everything should be back to the way it was. Also, is there no game sound right now? I thought I turned the audio back on. Yeah, it's on. Okay. That rain sounds super loud to me. I hope it's not destroying anyone's ears. It is a storming today. Alright, Light Song, what you got? Bedevil. What? What? Why? I mean, fine. Yeah, I'll resolve that. Pass. Yep, we'll go to my turn. Let's do that. Okay, I'm actually going to minus her. Because if I can pick up an End-Raze Forerunners here... Incubation Druid. Okay. So we will just play God-Eternal Rhonas. Enters the battlefield. Double the power of each other creature you control. And those creatures gain vigilance until end of turn. Let's heckin' do this, guys. Let's go win the game. Chunga, 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 chunga. We don't win the game this turn, but we're going to very soon. And we've got more plays to make on the opponent's turn with our Wilderness Reclamation coming up. Okay, so they're blocking the Ooze with Augur of Boros. Blocking Merfolk Branchwalker with you. And probably not blocking you. Probably blocking there. Well, why are you doing this? Why don't you block there and then block there? Augur Boros on the Merfolk Branchwalker and then Zombie Army on the token. That's probably what they're going to switch to. Yep, smart. And smart. I lose 3 creatures. They lose 2. And I deal 14 damage. So let's go next. And then I'm going to play Vivien's Arkbow because Vivien's Arkbow is bonkers good. And let's end the turn. We've got 8 mana up. That's a good game. Yes! Yes! We made it past a Grixis control thing. We did it. We did it. Okay, guys, that is the last game that I'm going to play in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of this in the comments below. If you want to see more mono-green, specifically, let me know what I should play in the comments. If you also want to see other decks, you can also suggest things there too. If you enjoyed this video, remember to smash like. And if you're new to the channel, I welcome you. I hope you're enjoying my videos. And that's all I got to say. Peace out, everybody.